¿Dónde están sus amigos? Pues, nos amigos.
No
Our
say. No
friends, our
say.
friends did not show up for the play date. Oh, here comes one sneaking in the back door.
See, told you
It's
they always
Thursday
sneak in
night.
right when it begins, on cue.
Yeah. They get that alert.
Yeah.
Someone's going live with you right now. Maybe you should get in there. It is Thursday night. It's the Loco Sports Lowdown. I am, if you can't tell, running on fumes, absolute fumes. Teacher life, not for the week out here, folks. It's been it's been a week, but at the end of the week comes Friday night. And Friday night is always a good time. And we are here to prepare you for Friday night. And here they come. Here they come. The late arrivals are popping in. They're busting down the doors fashionably late. We'll let them get settled in and then we'll get them in here. But yeah, Friday night's coming. We got high school football to talk about. We'll get you prepared for the Loco slate. We've tracked down a couple of volleyball scores. We'll check in on that probably later, honestly, because I know I'm tired. And I know we got 14 games, and it takes us a while to get through 14 games. So we're going to get into it pretty early on tonight. But we welcome Marcus Walsh from WHHI TV, slipping in the back door
Gentlemen,
late. No worries, no
the
worries.
the fiance, boy, I'm still getting used to
Yeah,
saying
good
that.
job. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, the fiance just got home. The Funky Bunch just got home from work and whatnot, and I'm like, I was
Yep.
doing the dishwasher and whatnot. I'm like, oh
Oh,
crap,
shoot.
it's a couple minutes
The
after
show's
9. I
on.
gotta go.
Yep.
Show's on.
Yes,
We're doing it live.
that's
And
right. We're
yeah,
doing it all.
here come. Yep. We're doing all, and
Max
here
has
come the
popped in
Cleveland
a couple
Guardians with the
times.
info.
Hey,
And
there
there
he
she
is.
Yep.
What's
is.
up, Funky Bunch?
Yep.
The future
Hi.
Mrs. Walsh.
Yeah, they are.
I love it.
Yes,
How's it going?
indeed. Me too.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So, welcome one and all
Thanks.
to
Thank
the
Yes,
show presented
indeed.
by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors. Mickelson Law Firm with us since the beginning, our official real estate closing attorney, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and also our all-star sponsor. Cat just jumped up. They can help you with all your legal needs at Mickelson Law Firm, right in downtown Bluffton, and then WHHI TV, Marcus's peeps, our partners in
Yes,
local
indeed.
sports, and we thank you for all your support, and we look forward to being a part of your broadcast tomorrow night once again as you put
Yes.
on the road over in Buford Bowl between Battery
Yes.
Creek and Buford.
Greek,
I'm
classic
going
rivalry.
Rebo. I'm sticking with Rebo. I'm sticking with Rebo until somebody tells me otherwise directly.
Well,
I'm not. I know Kevin Libby's told me otherwise. I don't.
I've I've heard from Jimmy Searson as well.
No, I mean,
I
I
think
think
I've
they may have been misinformed by someone. They might have
mm,
been tricked at some point by
Yep.
someone, like going snipe hunting.
I'll
Like he was a French
re
explorer, right? Jean
re
Ribot.
Rebo is definitely a lot easier to pronounce. Tell you that much.
Ribot rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah.
Rebot. That doesn't. That doesn't sound right.
Whoa.
That sounds like
True.
how a Southerner would pronounce it, but it doesn't sound like
I I
how it would
think
be
I've
pronounced.
I've been going
Mhm.
Rebo, for a long time.
All right,
I think just because it
you and me, let's stick together on this.
flows off
Strengthen
the tongue, I'm
numbers.
gonna go with the Rebo. Sorry, Kev. Sorry, Jimmy.
Rebo, Rebo, it
Before we move
is.
any further,
Love you both, gentlemen.
yeah, good to see you once again. Congratulations to the newly engaged Marcus Walsh, Funky Bunch.
Thank you, Wes.
We mentioned that early this week, and just
Last
really happy
night.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Was the last one?
But before we go any further, special shout out to Mr. Aiden McCarthy, the lower state player of the week, offensive
Hey now.
side from the South Carolina Football Coaches Association. I believe he was our only local representative. Let me check over again. It looks like that is the case. So Aiden McCarthy leading the Bluffton Bobcats to a breakthrough win against Hampton County and continuing a terrific start to the season. So looks like our lone winner from the Lowco this week from the South Carolina Football Coach Association is our guy Aiden McCarthy.
It's awesome. Kid
All
just
right, so
impresses
this is
me
fair. This
like
is
crazy.
fair. And I did actually initially, I wanted to pronounce it Carteret Street, but I know
Okay.
it's Carteret Street, but it doesn't sound right. It should be Carteret, in my opinion. But wait, is it Rebalt? Is there an L in the road?
Rebo or Rebo?
I think there
I thought it
I
was
think there is
literally
an
named
L in it.
after Rebo Road.
Rebo Road. That's what I thought it was
No,
called.
there's no L in it. There's no
There
L in it. It's Ribaut.
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
yeah,
so it's
that's
got to be named after Jean Ribot, who's got to be
Rebo.
Ribot.
Sean Rebo.
Ribot Road.
yeah.
Rebo.
All right, we're sticking with it. Sorry,
I'll get
Kevin Levy.
I'll get Jeremy on the case too. He's
This one,
the boss.
we may start a civil war here in the Low Country over how to pronounce the name of this street. Um, well, locals could be wrong.
Very well
Mark
could be.
Max Raj, are you with us? You've been popping in and out of the green room. I don't know what was going on with you, but we got Thursday night football. Bills
Yep.
on top of the Dolphins 14-7.
Josh Allen off to a better start than
Yeah,
last week. Man, he was
nice little
pitiful last
shovel
week.
pass.
Oof.
Nice little shovel
Yeah,
pass.
I mean,
Great call there.
this is not expect Miami to stay in this game much longer. This seems like quite a mismatch between these two teams. But division rivalry, you never know. I mean, the division rivalry
Yeah.
gets the best effort out from all those teams in that AFC East. So, yeah,
Dolphins
Buffalo
came out
looks
strong to start the game, but
they
Oh,
did.
yes.
So good to see that for Miami. But can they hang on for 4 quarters against Josh Allen? That's much of an ask in of itself when you think about it, because I mean, you just look at teams that have been on another level right now. Josh Allen's been on another level.
yeah, he's
I
wicked
guess
good.
Philadelphia's, but it's I mean, it just in terms of overall quarterback and offensive
Green
play,
Bay is
he's
pretty special right now
that's
too.
Green Bay. You can make the case for as well. But let's talk some high school football.
Yeah, let's do it. Buford's quarterback's in the house. Bray Moyd checking in. What's up, buddy? And we might as well start there, right? High school football starts with rivalries, and we got a big one
Yes.
on tap tomorrow night, and you get to call it, Marcus Walsh. So we know
Really
you won't
looking
pick
forward to it.
we know you won't be picking this one, but it's the Rebault Road Classic Bowl. You call them all bowls, right?
Yes, they're bowls.
Yeah, so
Much
Rebault
like Bridge
Road
and Broad
Bowl.
River. They're all bowls.
Yeah, they're all bowls. It's the bowl series.
Bowl
So
series.
now
Exactly.
bowl sounds weird now. I can't say the word bowl anymore because now it sounds
Sometimes
weird.
you say a word, it doesn't feel like a
Yeah.
word anymore.
Yeah, it stopped sounding like a word to me, so I won't be able to say that word anymore. But Battery Creek at Beaufort, we've said all week that this is the best chance Battery Creek has had at a win in this series, and blah blah blah. They haven't won. They haven't beaten Beaufort since 2003.
Yeah.
16 straight for the Eagles, and other than the first one in that string, they really haven't been close. But I think we're right that this is as close as the gap has been in quite some time. Mostly because Beaufort is down from kind of their traditional perch, but certainly it seems like Battery Creek is really trending in the right direction. And after kind of a disappointing start to the season, we were kind of bummed out about how they looked against HHCA relative to our expectations. But then they fought tooth and nail against JP2, almost
Sure
had that win in the bag. Played a really tough game against Keenan, and then came out and blew out Bethune-Bowman like you expect them to. So I do expect a fight here, but I think with Beaufort at home, I think Beaufort's buoyed by that miraculous win on Friday with Colton Freeman running it back on the block field goal. So, I think Battery Creek's going to come out, fight. First half's going to be competitive, but I think Beaufort's going to be able to wear them down and pull away in the second half. But Marcus Walsh, you've been doing the research all week long, so
Obviously, no pick,
fill us
but
in.
give us some insight.
No pick, but I mean, I'm
Right.
going back and forth on what I think is going to really happen in this game, and ultimately, I was at the HHCA-BA game, the HHCA-BC game, and there were moments where Battery Creek actually didn't look too bad. It was a tough night because it was raining all night
Yeah,
long, and
kind of throw
obviously
that
the
one out with the
offensive
weather.
line, you know, ended up getting demolished a little bit, and guys just ended up getting tired, and HHCA, withstood all that. But this is a team that is starting to find their footing, most definitely. And you got a big win from them in a blowout fashion. And as long as they just kind of keep churning, this is the best chance that they've had against Buford since they won that game back in 2003. And on the Buford side of things, they've been struggling too. Both teams were 0-3 coming into last week. And obviously, a bunch of big plays, especially on the ground. Both teams make their mark by running the football. Everybody does it. It's just certain teams do it a little bit more. These are two of those teams this year. And, I don't really expect, like when we talk about other teams like Bluffton or Hardyville or Hilton Head to have special teams be a factor. I'm not really expecting that in this game. I think, honestly, whoever can make the play defensively will be the team that wins this ball game. I think it's going to be pretty dang competitive. It's either going to come down to that if it's neck and neck all night, or can Battery Creek, like they couldn't do against HHCA, can they withstand the pressure that Buford could give them for 4 quarters? Because Buford does have a little bit more accelerated athletically on
Yeah.
especially the running game, and Moyd Smalls has been doing a bunch of things. Battery Creek's got like 5 or 6 guys that are carrying the load for sure, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think this really has a chance to be really interesting, and looking forward to calling it. I think we're going to be in for a much closer game than some people may think.
It's the most intriguing it's been in years. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
even a few years back, I remember that Creek was on the rise and on the up and up. But I just feel like this year, even though Buford is coming off an emotional win, but certainly one they kind of lucked out in getting on that last miraculous play. Even though they played a good game against Goose Creek, and
Yeah.
maybe that's a confidence thing that really builds and they come out flying. I think they will. I think they're ready to come out and take charge in this game, and the offense finally scoring more than 10 points in a game.
Right.
The first like 3 or so games they scored single digits, which is just unheard
Yeah.
of for a
Right.
Bryce Laverne coach team. But
Absolutely.
now they're playing that groove, and maybe that continues. Um, I think you hit that right point when you're talking about defense. Can Battery Creek find stops? And the historically, this is a Creek defense is, trying to find that consistency, trying to make some plays, force some turnovers. And if Bluffton's off or if Buford's offense comes out with the confidence that we saw yesterday and are able to establish some things and get good blocks, I think they find a way to score some points early and run away with this thing. Because I like Buford's defense at home. They play
Yeah.
well in front of the Kirkland Crazies. They just have a little bit more energy at home. And I think if they can score a couple times, they'll really ride that defense to get a few stops and take control of this game. Now, Battery Creek has certainly been a strong surprise for me. I think they've played very well. They've had some tight ones that they've played so far, and I think they've looked good in what we have seen so far from the Dolphins. But I just think the more complete team, the more deep team right now, and a team that's really starting to maybe find its groove as we get towards region play. This is obviously I said last night. I mean, 2 and 3 is such a huge difference in 1-4, especially in a region or in a rivalry
Yeah,
game. You've done
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
in like 20 years since you lost to it. So this is an enormous game for the Eagles. You got to back this one up and lose all momentum if you lose this game. I just don't think it's happening. I think Buford comes out hungry, ready to put their mark on this game very, very early. And I like the way that the Eagles have started to find that groove on offense, because they've been looking for some of those guys who will provide the extra go-to spark. And early on in the year, it just wasn't there. But Dorchester's defense is okay, pretty solid actually, and they played some tough teams. But now coming out of a game like this, coming out of a game where you found a way to win, and it's a completely different turnaround in terms of the script now after you get that first W. This is where you finally have that optimism that we're gonna put that front foot forward and look to make a big difference on offense early, and then use our guys like a Chaz Brown and others in that defense who have been really impactful to make some plays. Now, I'm not sure in terms of where they are with health wise, because I know that some guys have been battling them, but what they've seen from Tyler, like Isom, he's been a good runner the football, two-way guy. They have some dudes that are starting to to fill in some holes, I guess you could say, of spots where they need to show up.
Right.
So Buford's really continues to turn the corner this week, and I think they win by a couple scores.
Maxie, who you got?
Yeah, I agree with all of you. I think this is the closest these two teams have been in terms of talent and where they sit as a team in quite some time. And it's more difficult to make this pick, I think, as you look into this game. Just because
I'm glad I
these
didn't
two teams
have to.
not.
I'm very glad I didn't have to.
These two teams.
I mean, I think it's safe enough to pick Buford. Like it's not a hard pick to make unless you are trying to talk yourself into picking Creek.
I kind of like, I don't know. I think Battery Creek has still got some things to work out, but I think Buford does as well. I mean, Buford talent wise probably has a little bit more than Battery Creek does, but I think Battery Creek, if they want to build some momentum, this is the way to do it. Is get a win here against Buford, which they have not done in a very long time. I think they do it. I'm going to take Battery Creek in this one. I think Battery Creek gets the job done on Friday night. But I think if they do get it done, it's going to be really close.
That is
upset special.
We
got the last.
I had to use one of the new sound effects. Yeah.
By really close, Max, you think less than a touchdown or touchdown game?
Yeah, I think it's a 3-point game if Battery Creek wins.
Okay.
All right. Max is going out on a limb. Max is feeling feisty tonight, kids. Let's see who else he picks for the upsets. He's got the streak ending. By the way, before I go any further, without forgetting, you mentioned Colton Freeman in there. We all did the heroic field goal return. He was our ultimate player of the week. He had 14 tackles, 6 solo, a tackle for loss, and the 25-yard block field goal return for a touchdown. Edged out Kreslang Halls, who had that amazing night. Reed McCollum also receiving votes. I had to gerrymander him into the
a lot of deserving names this week.
Oh my
gosh,
so many names.
I mean, Aiden McCarthy didn't even win on our ballot, but
right. I mean,
Nick Underwood got it again. He had 19.
When you play like you defensively, and then you basically win the game yourself by blocking that field or returning that block kick for a touchdown. That's a 100% win probability added. So
exactly. Yeah,
Nick Underwood was the second best rusher in the country according to Max Preps.
Number 2,
second best rusher in the country. Yep, he is number 2.
There's someone above him with Max Preps, but there can't be a lot.
Yeah, there's someone above him with 13, just over 1,300 yards, which is crazy.
The way I look at it is if anybody's got stats like that and their coach isn't entering it in Max Preps, then it must be against just garbage competition. So it's not worth looking into. But our defensive player of the week hails from Bluffton, Jacoby Saunders. 12 tackles, 6 solo, tackle for loss, forced fumble, fumble recovery, pass breakup. Zaire Holmes from Colleton County also receiving votes with his 3.5 sacks. And I had thought about showing love for Rodney Wilder from Colleton, who had 9 tackles, a forced fumble, and a pick for the 3rd straight game. He's playing really well for them. So there's your players of the week. Ray Alonso excited to see Nick Underwood in person tomorrow night at BA. It'll also be on Buford's Own, so you can watch that one from wherever you are.
Got a good one. We'll get to that one later on the show.
Sure will. So let's power back into it. We got 2 for Buford, 1 abstaining, and 1 for Battery Creek. Max is on the record.
The upset special.
I just did my Grandpa Daryl special right there when I went through all your names before I got to the right one. All right, keeping it in Region 6 4A. Bluffton on the road at Lucy Beckham. Bluffton undefeated, riding high, big win at Hampton. We talked with Amari Patterson earlier this week, and he talked about trying to stay focused on the next one. And the next one is one you have to be focused on. Lucy Beckham, no slouch. They won the first 2 meetings, and then Bluffton won last year 31-17. It was a good game, as I recall, and should be another good one. I'm inclined to go with the Bobcats. and that red hot offense on the road. I can't see anybody outscoring them right now. The defense is playing pretty well, quite well, but it's just hard to see somebody putting up more than them. So I'm going to take the Bobcats, but I think this is going to be a tough test, and we're going to find out more about them.
Bluffton's offense has been scorching. You learned a lot from what you saw against Hampton County, against a team that was playing great defense coming in, albeit a two-way squad, still a very good team. And, I think the defense has been a focal point that we really have to really respect. And we kind of touched on that when they knocked off the Hurricanes. But this defense is looking like not only a competent team, but a team that can, or a group or a unit that can win you games. And if they play up to their standards. And Bluffton's got some guys. Chris Doyle has been one of my faves, but they've got some talent. Of course, you got Amari, you got two-way star Amari Patterson, two-way star Cardinal Warren. They're going to play both ways. Lucy Beckham, they lost to St. James by 7, but they taken care of this the rest of the way. Bengals are a tough team. This is a former region matchup of squads in 7-4A when it was 7-4A before it was 6-4A. Two very solid programs. This is obviously we mentioned this is the best Bluffton has looked in a while, just in terms of their success. Beckons never an easy team to play at home. They normally have a terrific group of depth in terms of their talent across the board. A ton of depth cultivated on that Bengals squad. It's hard to pick against Bluffton right now. Just how much their offense is on a roll. How many different guys can do damage on that team? It's not just McCarthy doing it with his legs, but that 1-2 punch, and then the run game. You hope you get Cordell Holly fully back. Maybe they give it a little bit of rest until next week. They put him on a pitch count maybe and try to see who else they have. Because obviously the goal is you want to win this game, but you want to maybe rest guys here and there for the big one next week, which is the one that. No, Lucy Beckham. I mean, obviously you want to stay undefeated, but the one that really matters the most is the one a week from now in Nest in the Bridge Bowl. But before we get there, Bluffton wants to keep this thing rolling, and I think they do in a tight one in a one-score game. I will take the high-flying Bluffton Bobcats to surge offensively again and do just enough to hold down the Bengals and improve to 5-0.
5-0.
I could see it being a very similar matchup to what we saw last year around with that final score. The defense for Bluffton is improving from what I see and what I hear from you guys week to week. I cannot wait to see them for the first time next week, as we'll have that as our WHHI game of the week, the Bridge Bowl, next week, sponsored by Summit Services. It's going to be great. I really like what Bluffton's got going on. Hayden Gregory has his team playing really well, and I think that they're going to get it done against Lucy Beckham and head into a huge week next week on the road against Hilton Head. I like the Bobcats.
Max?
Yeah, my thing last year, because I was at last year, I don't think the score did justice enough for Bluffton, because I think Bluffton just played the outright better game than Lucy Beckham did last year when they were at home. They played the better game on all facets on both sides of the ball. I think they do it again, and I think it's going to be a close game, but I don't think it's as close as some would think it would be. I think it's a 2-score game in favor of Bluffton.
Yeah,
I think Lucy Beckham's good,
just like it was
but
last
year. I think Bluffton. Yeah, I think Bluffton gets it done again. I think they just, if they play like they did last year against Lucy Beckham, I see them winning this by 2 scores.
I could even see 3 scores. I could see like 35-14 or something.
Yeah, I could see that too.
It's within the realm.
Yeah, I mean, if the defense plays up to its level, I think that there is a scenario where Bluffton can run away with it, just like we've seen in some other games, and they know how to.
I think
they
know how to close out wins or at least bury a team, and in terms of what they did in Hampton County. I mean, they pounced on them when they got ahead, and they laid down.
There's some killer instinct in this group.
They can score quickly. They know how to cash in on turnovers. So if your defense makes a stop or or forces a turnover. This offense can make you pay.
Yeah, there's a little bit of killer instinct.
I think the other thing.
You're right.
Yeah, the other thing for me is that I think one thing going for Bluffton is like you look at Lucy Beckham's schedule. Apart from that St. James game they had, and St. James is a very strong 5A program. Apart from St. James, haven't really played anyone challenging. I mean, Philip Simmons is a decent program,
solid
but
2A.
It's not like
solid.
Yeah, I mean they haven't played a 4A.
But you could say the same about Bluffton. Outside of Hampton, Bluffton.
Yeah, that's true. But I think
they looked good against Hampton.
They did, and against Savannah Country. But I mean, like,
yeah,
I don't. Yeah,
I mean, Lucy Beckham lost to St. James by 7. I mean,
we're all on Bluffton. We don't gotta parse, right?
Yeah.
But no, like this is a Beckham team that lost to St. James. This is a team that Bluffton feel like would certainly handle. So I mean, when you just look at body of work and who these teams have played, it just Bluffton looks like they're a little bit more just complete of a team compared to what we've seen from Lucy Beckham. I just think they're on the tier right now. So
yeah,
lots to be excited about over there at Bluffton, and this would be quite a way to wrap up the non-region slates and surge into the nest next week.
Ooh boy! Speaking of your Seahawks, Wes, they go to Hampton County. They're going to be mad as rattlesnakes up in Barnville after what happened last week. Back to the drawing board for those guys. Series tied at 1 since they became Hampton County. Hilton Head leads 16-8 if you include the Wade Hampton years. Seahawks won 35-14 last year and looked pretty impressive doing it.
One of us called that.
That was the coming.
Yeah, one of you called that.
Really
that was
me.
That was really impressive. That was the breakout.
Yeah, that was when you knew that the Seahawks were ready to take that next step. I was there as well, I believe.
It's funny because the role.
I just meant I called the upset. I wasn't there, but
you called the upset. You weren't at the game, but I was there. But I don't think I did.
Right. You're heading there tomorrow.
I think I went against my own school. I was.
Remember, Hampton was riding high.
They were.
Hampton had just blown out Bluff.
They were
not blown out, but they blitzkrieged them. And we were all like, "Oh, Hampton!" And then Hilton Head punched them in the mouth. Hurricanes got punched in the mouth a week earlier this year, but how do they respond to it this time? Is the big question.
By the way,
for me. And
7 o'clock kickoff, not 7:30.
Oh, really?
Half an hour. Yeah, half an hour earlier.
That's hard. That's a challenge. Wes gonna have to get an early jump to get his Rigdons in.
Yeah.
So does anyone want to lead off our picking here? Because
I will start
viewing the menu.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Still viewing the menu.
I will start, and I'm going to go with Hilton Head again. I was really impressed with what I saw from them last week. I mentioned it, I guess it was yesterday. You know, they didn't play a perfect game against Hardyville, but they played pretty dang close, I thought.
Yeah, they were.
They look sharp. They look like they're practically in midseason form. Derek Renajetsky is back, and he is healthy, and he looked really good. They still have a lot of guys that they can do multiple things with offensively, and that defense, year in and year out, in large part because B.J. Payne is their defensive coordinator, they just come out with their hair on fire, and they get after it. And then you got Bo Sexton and Lindstedt who kick. So you got a lot of really good pieces, parts. Hampton's still a very good football team, but I think Hilton Head's better. I'm going to go with the Seahawks on the road to knock off Hampton and make it a sweep of the 6-4-8 teams over Hampton in Varnville.
Okay.
I'm interested to see how Hampton comes out and responds because certainly I know the fans were a little upset to see how much Bluffton really ran up not really ran up the score, but just dominated them in that second half where you were expecting the Hurricanes to bounce back. It just never happened. So you expect to come out with a little bit more jump, but I think the Seahawks are on a nice run right now where they are at after that loss to a very good James Island team. Risher has really taken charge in the backfield. When you have a healthy Reniszewski out there, that makes a big difference. I like the run game. I like the way the offense is situated. I like the job they've done opening lanes for the runners. And Risher is just such an athlete and such an addition, skill player to that team. He's made a big difference, and the defense has been working hard. And Payne always knows how to get the most out of these guys. I look at a guy like Andrew Massey, who has really stepped up junior year linebacker. He has been in so many different important parts of these games, and he knows how to deliver, make a big stop. This is a Seahawks team that has been very disciplined. We don't see him miss tackles very often, or at least in big spots. And this is where they're really going to have to step up and go up against the desperate Hampton County offense that wants to fight back and make a statement. And I like the way Hilton Head's defense is playing. The dudes that they have, I think they have a little bit too much in terms of guys that are going to be ready and able to put a stop to Hampton in this ballgame. Now, don't forget about Singletary. He has been quite the weapon out there for the Hurricanes, and they have some guys who are going to find a way to get chunks of yards and challenge the Seahawks defense. But I just think that Hilton Head is playing with some swagger right now after what we saw last week. Obviously, it's Hardyville. It's a game you should win, but the Aiken win was good on the road. They've known that they can win on the road now, and I'm optimistic about. I was kind of worried about that James Allen game, but then again, James Allen is a great team. I think that Hilton has gotten that swagger back, that confidence back, and I think they're ready to storm into Hampton County and knock off the Hurricanes. I think a game that is going to be a little closer. I don't expect it to be as much of a blowout as the Bluff one was, but I think Hilton is able to get enough stops and use a balanced running game and an offense that finds ways to churn out yards. And they're going to do enough to get the win on the road and get themselves ready for one heck of a battle next week at the Nest.
All right, 2 for the Seahawks. Max?
Boy,
I'm going to answer a quick text. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
do your thing.
Okay. I think with Hampton County, I think they got to figure out a couple things, but I didn't think they played awful. I just think Bluffton just outplayed them on every facet of the game. I just think Bluffton was just so much more, in terms of talent and depth. They just had more of everything than Hampton did. And I kind of think that's why Hampton just wasn't able to keep up with them. And we said earlier this week, a couple plays could have changed the entire game, to be honest, between those two. And I just think Hampton didn't capitalize where they needed to last Friday. I think that's kind of what caused the loss being as big as it was. I don't think they make the same mistakes here. You've had a whole week to figure out what you need to fix. Yeah, Hilton Head's a very solid team. And I think this is a really close game. I think this goes down to the wire. I really do. I think I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to take Hampton County in this one, but good Lord, make it close.
Contrarian pick again from Max.
Contrarian pick again, and it will remain contrarian because I'm going with the Seahawks. I love Hampton, and I think they're still a top 5 team in 2A without a doubt. But Hilton Head didn't give them much on the ground to James Island. I think you got to beat them through the air, and I just don't think Hampton has quite enough juice in that passing game to do it. They were really reluctant to throw it last week, and it was there. So I think they've got to, if they're going to win this game, they got to open it up a little bit more. They got to get that passing game more involved because
I've been saying that all year.
Still not entirely confident about the Hampton passing attack right now.
Yeah.
When you're looking to develop your quarterback, Chris Terry, when he was there, they threw it a lot more, and now it's mostly become more of the short passing game, more of the Jalen Singletary.
Well, they took a couple of they've taken some shots, but they didn't against Bluffton. They took the one. Okay. They took one and it got broken up, and then they took one.
They have a quarterback who can play. They have a quarterback.
Maybe they'll decide to throw it a little bit more on
I
Friday.
think they will.
Yeah.
I think they will because I think they'll have to.
It's almost a sin it's almost a sin not to use his arm if you're Hampton County, because
I will
think
say
that
the
opens up
Seahawks
a whole new
secondary. I'll
dimension
say the
to that
Seahawks
offense.
secondary, from what I've seen this year, has not been tested much. So if you're able
Right.
to beat one deep and make it
Now
make
they
it
are pretty
difficult for
good ball
Hilton's pass
hawks.
defense, that could be a big important factor in this game because I just haven't
Yeah.
seen much
You just
in
can't
terms of the Seahawks
put it
pass
all on
defense.
Jalen. You just can't.
Well, it's
No, and
hard. I
that's
mean, we've
it.
seen that with
They've
other guys. Though Banner, I mean, Bluffton's been able to not just use one guy, but it's been McCarthy, it's
right.
been Warren, it's been other guys,
Right.
two other receivers who have
And they
stepped up.
got
I mean,
they
that's where you see
yeah.
that's where you see how good Bluffton has been compared to other teams, and
Yep.
they just have so many guys that can beat you. As I said, Hilton
But
has a few.
I think
Hilton
Yeah.
has a few.
I
But
think
certainly, I think Bluffton is a higher level than the Seahawks. I expect this game to be
Right.
closer, but I could see why you would go with Hampton. You know, a week off. Certainly, it wasn't the best performance, and there are some guys on the Hampton County team who
They're gonna be
are
hungry.
going to
They're
find a
gonna be
way
hungry.
to
they need to
raise their
open.
game.
They need to open that passing game. They just
Yeah,
need to open
yeah.
the passing game because they
And
got.
they need to start
They have
strong.
too good of an arm sitting. They have too good of an arm sitting behind
If
center for
if
them
they
not to
hit
use
on
it.
one
And they got
early,
weapons
if they
on the
hit
outside.
if
I
the
love
Hurricanes hit
I
on
love
one
their
early,
crowd, but they'll
it
turn
can
on
be
them
a
if they start
completely
slow at
different game because if Hampton gets going early, you got the bell
Yep.
ringing, you got the
Yep.
crowd going crazy. That could make it a whole different game compared to
And
if Hilton
Justin
has
just
been able
said
to
that crowd will
withstand.
turn on them.
That crowd is bipolar,
Yeah,
man. They will
yeah.
they will turn on you if they'll turn on the coaches if they don't like the game plan. They'll turn on the players if they ain't
Yeah,
playing
but if
hard
Hampton
enough.
gets going early
They will
and the
let them
momentum
have it.
starts building, it
I
is
think if you're
hard.
Hampton
It
County,
is hard to slow
They
down
got to start
momentum
quick.
over there in
Yep.
Barnville. If you fall
I know.
behind,
But
if you fall behind with that energy that Hampton County, it is difficult to come back. Just from
I
what
think
I
the
have
other
seen.
thing is this. If I'm that coaching staff at Hampton County, it's time to open up the playbook a little bit
Yeah,
more.
you got to.
No
I
doubt.
truly believe that because if I think they do, it opens up a whole new dimension to what is already a very solid offense.
They
And you
have some
open up a
guys
whole
who
new
can catch
dimension
the
to it. It's
football.
going to be
They
hard to
just
stop you.
they just
I'm
need to
telling you that
execute on some deep
Kaz
passing plays or at least
Saab he
yeah.
can fly up the sideline. You gotta
Yeah,
send him
they
up.
have some guys that just need
They
to find
have
the potential for
weapons.
them.
They have more weapons than just
does.
Jalen Singletary. They have
Yeah.
more weapons.
You know, but
I think
on
we'll
the other
see that.
side, I mean, this is a Hilton Head defense that, I think their front
They're
is
tough.
as strong as many teams in 4A. Like, I like the way that Matt's been playing. I like the way a couple others have been playing.
Yeah.
But can they
And-
defend the passing game? And that's really the big question.
Yeah, that's where
for
James
BJ.
Island got him, but they also got a couple picks off of them. So
Yeah.
they're pretty ball hawking
have
back
some moves.
there.
That's why I'm picking Hilton. I just like them better
Yep.
in terms of their defensive depth.
I
I
do
think
too.
they're going to find
Yeah.
ways to make some stops, and that's
All right.
sometimes 4A versus a 2A team. But I just think Hilton has a little bit more right now,
Yep.
and I think Hampton County is going to make run 2A. But you're going up against a 4A team that has cultivated a lot more depth and just a little bit more talent on that side of things. So. I mean, this is Hilton Head. You need this game. I mean, this is our region game, but you want to go into Bluffton saying that we can handle Hampton County as well. I'm saying if Hilton Head loses this game, that provides a lot of doubt. It provides a loss of confidence. Just saying that okay, well, Bluffton blew out Hampton County.
Yeah.
If we lose
Right.
to them, that's not what you want to see going into the biggest game of your season at home
Right.
against. This is a game you really want to have and play well and honestly you would really like to win and
Yes.
I think they should. I think they should because I think they are more talented than Hampton at this moment, and this is one you want to take with you some good vibes saying that we can beat Hampton. We can play well in a game like this just as Bluffton can and provide maybe some fear into a bit maybe, although Bluffton I'm sure will be fine. They won't they're I mean yeah. But this is a big one for Hilton. I think maybe more so Hilton, but even if Hampton loses this game, I'm not saying they're
all's not lost for them. Yeah, it's a game you're quote unquote
Yeah.
supposed to lose, right? So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
all
No
right.
pressure on Hilton.
I think we need to move
I
on,
agree.
fellas.
Yeah,
let's move
Come on,
on.
let's go.
We're going to be here all night. This one might not facilitate as much discussion. Colleton County coming off a huge win against Stahl. They got off the schneid, but they go to Stratford. Stratford leads the all-time series 12-1, won 41-14 last year, and has won 7 straight in the series. Great signs from Colleton last week. They got some guys going. Jaquise Martin had a big game. Nico, I can't think of Nico's name right now. He had a nice game. They had a bunch of guys that stood up, and especially their defense played really well. Zaire Holmes, who we shouted out earlier, and Rodney Wilder, as well as O'Keefe Martin and Jaquel Jenkins. And the other guy was, Jaquise had 2 touchdowns, and then there was a Nico too. I lost him somewhere, but he had a couple touchdowns too. But I just don't think that this is a big step up. We're going back up to big boy football. Stratford's a solid 5A. I think it's going to be a tough one for the Cougs.
That's a mismatch, unfortunately, for Colleton County. Here's to see that for the Hurricane, for the Colleton County Cougars. I'm blending all my teams together. It's a long day, but but for Colleton, this is a difficult matchup. Stratford, they are, flirting with top 10 status right now by the way they're playing. They're a very solid team. They lost their first one. They were at Somerville, and Somerville is a very good squad, but 56-3 before Dorchester, 56-12 their Sox team.
Wow, say less. Say less. We're all on Stratford.
I'll go with Stratford. I ate my crow last week thinking that Colleton County was going to go down to stall. It tasted good at the medium to medium rare, whatever, and I got Stratford.
There's like 3 schools you can't pick. It's Stall, it's Burke, maybe 2. It may just be 2, but those 2 you can't pick.
Be those 2.
And we'll talk about Burke momentarily.
Yes, we will.
I think if I'm Colleton County, look, I get you're a 4A program, but you're a 4A program that just hasn't been, consistent in terms of, strength, depth, talent. They just haven't been completely there. And I think they're going to get there eventually, but I just don't understand why you would want to, it's a good challenge for them, but I feel bad for this one. I'm definitely taking Colleton County with this one.
Wait, you're taking Colleton County?
You're doing what I got.
That would be the upset of the century. That would be the upset.
I was like, man, I know you're a contrarian, but come on.
My bad.
All right.
My bad.
What medicine have you been taking lately?
No.
Trying to get well.
Too much, apparently. Too much.
Moving on. Whale Branch on the road at Philip Simmons. Warriors are sitting at 2-2. Philip Simmons the same, but they've got their different ways. Warriors lead at 3-1 in the series, but the first 3 wins were a while back, and then they lost last year 43-7 to Philip Simmons. We've all said we love the job Willie White's doing, keeping that program on the tracks over there, but Philip Simmons is a strong team. We saw him beat Beaufort a couple of weeks ago. Very good defense. I can't see Whale Branch putting up a whole lot of points in this one. So I'm going to take the Iron Horses on the road. Plus, I'm a Philip Simmons truther. No real rationale except the kid who served me at the Burger King across the street from Philip Simmons High School one day a couple years ago was just a cool kid and looked super athletic, and he told me how good they were going to be that year and how good they were going to be in a couple of years. So I believe in him. And just completely, he may have transferred somewhere else by now, but I still believe in that kid from the Burger King. Philip Simmons is tough. I'll take the Iron Horses.
What's the situation with Jermon Bowers? Everything
I don't know.
Cleared up there?
No idea.
I do not know the answer to that.
Was he not back last Friday?
I don't know the answer to that.
I really want to take Whale Branch. I wrote Whale Branch down, but then I thought of what Philip Simmons did, and I know Beaufort, as I talked about earlier, they're off to a bit of a slow start. I'm going to change my pick. I'm going to go with Philip Simmons. That defense is absolutely insane. I like the Iron Horses. Did you say they are?
The Iron Horses.
Yeah.
I like Philip Simmons to get the win. I'll be, hoping that Whale Branch can play well, but I'm going to take the Iron Horses. to get it done.
Whale Branch has been better than advertised to start the season. They've been
they have.
fighting hard. This is a little bit above their weight class. Give me Philip Simmons in a runaway win the second half.
Yeah, I agree. I think I applaud what Whale Branch has done this season. Willie White has been doing a fantastic job because I did not have any hope for that team this year. I just did not see them getting anywhere as a program, but they're getting somewhere with it. They're definitely getting somewhere with it, and they've been really impressive. But like Wes said, a bit above their weight class. I'll take the Iron Horses.
Man, that's one of the better nicknames in the high school league. The Iron Horses.
So good. Iron Horses. It's wonderful.
You
also got the Barnwell War Horses, which is pretty cool too.
That is a great name. The Barnwell War Horses.
The Iron Horses makes me think of the Wild Stallions from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Why do I feel like there's some high school in this country that has the name Wild Stallions
with a Y?
Gotta be.
That'll be legendary. All right. My boys, Hardyville Hurricanes at home against Lee Central. Lee Central won this game last year 42-7, and then it kind of popped off at the end. It got a little chippy, and it wasn't good. But Lee Central struggling a little bit this year. Hardyville's been going through it lately because the schedule, playing, scheduled up the last few games. I expect this to be a pretty competitive game. I know Hardyville's down at least one starter on defense. Well, actually, he plays both ways, but more important on defense. But everybody else should be good. Kamari, I think, is good. So I expect this to be a competitive game. I can't face one of the teams tomorrow if I picked against them. So I'm going with the Canes.
I am too. I was so impressed with what they were able to do against Hilton Head, not having Kamari Brown. I tell you what, that team just fights. They will not quit. And especially off of what happened last year. Hopefully they have Kamari back for this matchup tomorrow night. Did you say the game's at home?
Yeah, it's at home. We won't have Kyrell though.
That being said, I forgot to mention on Friday night, but I mentioned to you guys when I was just chatting with you on Monday that obviously Kyrell getting hurt was definitely a big deal. I think that was in the second quarter of the matchup against Hilton Head last week, if memory serves, and it normally does. I'm gonna go with Hardyville in this game. I think that they've got a lot of momentum swinging their way because of circumstances, from the matchup last year, fact that it's at home, and they're going to take what they did well and positively and move forward with that. I'm going to take the Canes.
Yeah, this is going to be a competitive one. Hardyville
should be.
Yeah, Hardyville has certainly been tested recently. Obviously they had to play Hilton Head. East Clarendon is a pretty solid opponent. I just think that we've seen some magic at the Ville, and I love the way this team plays at home. They have some. I mean, they're hungry to put up a good performance. I think on their home field under the lights. This is two teams that are trying to pull it together right now in terms of early in the season. This was a tight game last year. Lee Central was able to come away with the win, but
it wasn't close.
It wasn't close.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, maybe I think this year will be though. I think this year will be a lot closer, and I think that it's going to come down to a couple plays as we get towards the last few series, and I think the Canes will find a way either to force a turnover or make a big play on special teams to win this game down the stretch. Give me the Canes for what would be their biggest win the last 2 years. I think they take down Lee Central in a tight one at home, and it'll be a celebration in the Ville tomorrow night.
All right, it'd be our biggest home win for sure. The win on the road last year against Branchville when they were ranked 9th. That was pretty huge.
Yeah. That's arguably That's arguably their
but honestly, none of it'll matter. None of it'll matter if they beat Ridgeland next week. So
right,
nobody will care about any of those games.
That's the one they're supposed to be accounted for because we got the the rivalry week coming up, week 5.
Yeah.
So
We're
a week away from that.
Yeah, I think for Hardyville, you look at their schedule, very challenging to start off the year. They've had some challenging opponents in East Clarendon, and of course Hilton Head last week. Lee Central has struggled, like Justin said, with losses to Timberland, Chesterfield, obviously both decent programs, and then Hannah Pamplico. But their sole win coming against Burke, so not really an impressive start to their season. And I think the disappointments continue on Friday night. As long as the lights stay on at Hardyville, I think Hardyville Hurricanes get the win.
That's right. As long as the lights stay
we're
on
playing
in
at the Super Bowl.
Hardyville.
I haven't heard otherwise. But yeah, we have a replacement scoreboard on order as well. Coming into the 21st century at the Ville. All right, so everybody's on the Canes. All right, the boys will be happy to hear that in the morning.
They'll be raising canes.
There you go. Or either that or they'll go, "Oh, Mr. Jarrett, why'd y'all pick us?" Then they'll go, "Oh no."
Yeah, right. No, they will definitely do that.
I kind of think that this is the week that Hardyville is able to get it going. I just think there's some good vibes playing there at home, and I think Lee Central has been going through some things, going through some tough stretches, and so I think both teams would love to have this one. I kind of think Hardyville is going to find a little bit more from some of those high impact players who, we saw what they did week 0 of this year all the way back when they were able to get that win for Bethany Bowman. It took a lot to do it, but there's a lot of resolve in fighting this Hardyville team, and you've seen JJ being at those games. I think somebody's going to make a play. Somebody's going to make a play at the end of the side. I think it's going to be someone wearing a Kings jersey.
I feel good about it. I also feel good about the Jags. Ridgeland just has only one touchdown all season, but now they get to go to Burke, and that's like the stall of 2A or 1A or whatever they are now. And so, I mean, I don't mean it bad. It's just it is what it is. They're the same program at that level, and Ridgeland won by forfeit last year. They lead the series 3-1. And I think that the things that the Jags have been trying that haven't been working are going to work this week. And I think that their defense is going to feast. Their defense is tough. They've gone up against some really tough teams and not gotten a lot of help from their offense and held their own. And so I think their defense is going to feast. I think the defense is going to outscore Burke. How about that? I think the Jags are going to roll on the road.
I think they will too. I've said it before ever since I called that Whale Branch game a couple of weeks ago, and I'll say it again. If that offensive line can just give Tayshawn Smith some time to get outside of the pocket, make some plays, or stay in the pocket, drop back, and be able to throw the football, the offense will have some chance for success. Haven't seen it yet, but you never know. Their defense is salty. It is a really strong unit. I'm with you, JJ. Ridgeland, come on. Let's get this done. Let's get this win. I'm riding high on the Jags tomorrow night, boys.
Let's get them both on wins going into the big rivalry.
Ridgeland this year, I mean, the yacht has been hard to come by. As you mentioned, I think they've only found the end zone once all year, and that was pretty recently against Fanning. Yeah. I think that changes. I think they're able to find some success against Burke. They've got some guys going in the right direction after what we saw. Burke won. The only win they have was a forfeit, but they lost to Lee Central, Denmark Olar.
Yeah,
this is a very winnable game, in my opinion, for a Ridgeland team that is they're fighting and clawing, and I think they're going to find a way to take control early in this game. And you look at what they need to do. You'd love to see them get some points early to establish that momentum and just that belief that we can find a way to rattle off some scores and get the upper hand in the game like this. A big one for both teams who really need to find that momentum as they inch closer towards region play. But I just feel like the Jaguars are going to find a way to get some chunks of yards early and to find an offensive spark, and I think once they do that, I think that defense is going to, as the kids say, they're going to eat out there on the field on Friday night.
Yep, think so.
Yeah, I think this is, you need this win. They need this win terribly, and I think they'll get it. Burke is, let's just say, terrible. I mean, if we're being honest, I mean they've had to play Lee Central. Lee Central
program.
Struggling program, and the one thing I say that would be going their way is they're coming off of what is technically a bye week, being that they they had a forfeit, so they didn't have to play Friday.
Right.
But I don't think it matters in this case. I think Ridgeland gets the job done, and hopefully we can see this offense, do what they're, what we expect them to do, which is, run the football, pass the football really well with a great quarterback who needs enough time in the pocket to make those throws downfield. And I think they do all of that, and it shows everyone what this offense can really do when given the right opportunity. And I think they get the job done on Friday.
All right, we're all on the Jags. Now to the Skeezers. Your alma mater, Max. HHCA has a tough one. They're at home in the cage where they're very good, but Hammond is coming and they're very gooder. They've won all 5 all-time matchups, 55-21 last year. This is not a bad HHCA team by any means, but it's not the best we've seen over the last few years. I don't think it's going to be the one that climbs the mountain and takes down Hammond. But certainly Reed McCollum is a game-changing type of player. Cress Langhals was a game-changing player on defense last week. But I think in the, we talk all the time, every football game is really won and lost in the trenches ultimately. And I just don't think the trench play is there for HHCA to hold their own against a true Skeeza powerhouse in Hammond.
I completely agree. Jessa Jeremiah will be at this game tomorrow night. Yeah, her girls are, whether it's cheer or whatever during the game, not exactly sure what's going on, but they're involved. So Jessa's going to be there. I would love to take HHCA, but Hammond, is that pedigree of just a really, really dangerous football team in this area. And like you said, JJ, this HHCA team is still quite good. It's not to the level that it's been the last several years. I'm going to take Hammond. I'm hoping that HHCA can keep it close, but I like Hammond in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to see something special from the Hilton Christian Academy defense. Hammond has been rolling start the year. I mean, this is the litmus test of all of them when you think about Skeeza, because they have been powerhouse of just the entire Skeeza realm for a number of years. Now they haven't scored an absurdly large number of points, although they played some good teams. They played Pinewood, Pratt, and Porter Gap, but they haven't scored more than 20 points in a game. So I certainly they played some tough teams, Christchurch as well. So this is an offense that's just really trying to get going, and in a bigger way. Obviously, they have some talent on that side of things, but HHC's defense can come up and continue to pressure them and find a way to hold them down and give it up for Reed McCollum. We've seen some big go plays, some turnovers, especially last week with Mr. Langhouse. Not the question, but it's going to take a near flawless effort from both sides of the ball to get it done. And I don't think they're quite there yet. I will take Hammond. I will take the Hammond Skyhawks on the
Skyhawks. Cool name too. Skyhawks are cool.
Yeah, it is a cool name. I don't, I obviously I don't think Hilton Christian Academy wins this one. The thing I'm looking for in this game is how close can they keep it with Hammond, and the reason
how long they can keep it close.
How long can they stay in the fight, basically?
Yeah. Well, I want to see how close they can keep it, because I want to see that, because obviously Pinewood Prep played Hammond and kept it close. And obviously these two teams are facing each other next week. And so I think I want to see how they can play against Hammond. It gives me an idea of what they could do.
He wants to do the transitive property.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
He wants to use the transitive property, you guys. I love the transitive property.
I think for me, Hilton Head Christian Academy is starting to figure out who they are, and I think it helped with how they played against JP2 last Friday. I think they've figured something out after that bye week they had, and
that was kind of
always
vintage.
said
that was kind of vintage
Yeah.
Peduzzi team
Yeah.
last week. That was the most Peduzzi they
and I
but,
think that's and I don't think Christian Academy gets this win. I mean, they can keep it close. I think they can. I don't think they will, but I'm hoping they do. So it gives me a bit of hope going into next Friday's game against Pinewood Prep, because that is a very strong.
I don't think they will, but I hope
they could.
I hope they do. I hope they do.
I know. We're just
we all do. We all do, buddy.
Of course.
Yeah, give me give me the Hammond Skyhawks to win this one.
Oh Lord! All right, we're all on Hammond. Max not taking a big swing on that one. This one might be an easy one too. We got much love for the Patrick Henry boys, but they got a tough task on their hands going across the bridge to Bethesda Academy, where they're averaging 50 points a game, and that's with running clock in the second half of the last one. They look pretty good. Patrick Henry impressed me last week with how tough they played Dorchester, but that was a run first type of team, and this is gonna hit you. They're gonna take what the defense gives them, and I like Bethesda in this one.
It's
that team
just a runaway transfer in terms of how good they are, and all the respect to Patrick Henry. I love the Patrick Henry boys. Love watching them play, but this is quite a test going up against the Bethesda Academy team that has just rattled off insane numbers to start the year. They've scored 15. All but one. Hey, Hilton Head Prep held under 50 points in a 47-0 win. So
I'm guessing they probably played 8-minute quarters with running clock in the second half.
I would think
that's probably right. But yeah, I mean, this is an offense that is churning right now, and I just don't think Patrick Henry has enough to stop this incredible run that the Blazers are on right now. They're certainly blazing through. They played all local competitions so far. Hilton Head Christian Academy, JP, Hilton Head Prep, Patrick Henry. They'll play Myrtle Beach Christian, but then they'll play BA after that.
That's gonna be a good one.
That could be interesting.
Oh, that
could
be fun.
For October 3rd, coming up in week 6. So keep an eye on that one. But right now, I mean, the question is, can anyone stop them in two-way Skeeza right now? Because it is. They are on quite the roll. They are on quite the roll right now. I don't see anyone who's at that level right now. So Bethesda Academy is going to win big.
Yes, they are. Love you, Stricklander, but
yeah, I think if Stricklander was with us, he'd pick Bethesda too.
Yeah, I bet he would.
All love for Patrick Henry. I enjoy going out there for football games and stuff. I think it's one of the best football atmospheres we have in this area. It
reminds me at home,
fun,
honestly. Going to the farm. That's why I call it the farm, because it feels like
I love baseball season too over there.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. But in my opinion, they got some of the best concession stand food that you can get in this area, man.
But this game's at Bethesda.
It's at Bethesda.
It is at Bethesda, and I think Patrick Henry's running into a buzzsaw known as the Blazers, the buzzsaw Blazers. I think Bethesda Academy takes this one easily.
All right, we're all on the Blazers. This one might also be easy. This is another one that was decided by forfeit last year. Faith Christian decided not to come play Thomas Hayward, or not to play them last year.
That.
So now it's a home game for THA this year, and I don't think it's going to be any trouble. I haven't even looked at what Faith Christian's done this year, but I'm taking the Rebels to get right game for Tony O and the Rebels.
They got to get it done, and they're. By George, they're gonna get it done. Give me THA big. Gibson with a couple of picks, and then Tony O'Banner just running like a madman.
Bunch of touchdowns. Yeah. All right. Everybody else? Rebels?
Pretty simple one there. This is a get right game, get off the schneid game for Thomas Hayward to find a way to get in that win call and go from there. I think that it's going to be a big Tony O'Banner night
Antonio Banner Knight for Thomas Hayward.
Yes.
All right, we're all on the Rebels.
I didn't say it there. Banner Knight for Antonio Banner. There you go.
I like it.
Well, Sorry, I'm trying to look at stuff for Faith Christian. Somerville, right?
Yeah. They got a football team?
I am looking. I do not see a schedule for them. I also
let's see. I
They're
think
still
I
on-
have.
see
Let's
a
see.
football team for them.
They ain't played no
No, I
games
don't.
yet.
Is
That's
this their
probably
first
going to be
game?
a forfeit.
The schedule just says Hayward.
I
Book it.
found something. Hold on.
This might be a forfeit.
So I found on their website, on Faith Christian's actual website, that they do not have a football team this year.
Oh,
no.
so
You
that
can
is
book
probably
this
a
Hayward
one
only
with the
playing like
Thomas
7
Hayward Rebels.
games?
It
Hayward
says,
only
for the
playing
first
like
time in the
7
football
games this
program
year?
began some
Wow.
20 years ago, the Knights will not have a team.
Well,
Yikes. So I guess that game's not happening.
A ghost of a football team.
So,
The ghost of a
Yeah.
football team.
all
Yes.
right. So moving along, Hayward's going to get that win.
Yeah.
Here's a big one. Dorchester Academy at Buford Academy, couple of 1A contenders. Dorchester won last year 16-6, and that was the first ever meeting because they had not played since BA became 11-man, I guess. So that was interesting to me. This is a good matchup. We talked with Ross Saunders and Nick Underwood last night about this. They seem to be locked in on this. This is a physical team in Dorchester. They're a run first team. I think they run some old school triple option type stuff. A lot of misdirection, like Ross said. You're gonna have to stay on assignment. I think that Buford Academy is a really well coached team. They're gonna be really well prepared, and I think they're gonna execute. The trench play is so good. Dorchester bullies a lot of people, but I don't think they're going to be able to bully these guys up front. Raw and Trey and all the guys that Raw told us about last night. Andrew Butterfield. So I'm going to take BA in a battle, but I think they're better equipped to outscore you. I'll say BA like maybe 30. Not that many. 24 to.
I think 30.
Yeah, I'd say if they put up 30, they
something
probably
like
win
that.
this
28
game.
to 14.
Yeah.
I'm-
like 30.
I'm going to go
10.
BA as well. That team
Look, I would
looks
be surprised.
absolutely incredible. They
Yeah, they look
look like a well-oiled machine right now.
They're really
And
good.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be between them and Pinewood Prep. And I know I say this all the time. I can't wait to see them in person.
No, not
Pinewood's
Pinewood Prep.
3A.
Colleton Prep.
Or Colton Prep. I'm sorry, you're right.
Prep, yeah.
Um,
Prep.
I was so confused for a second.
Yeah, no, my fault there. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be
Prep,
between them and Colton Prep.
Which is next
I can't
week.
wait to
That's
see
next
BA in
week.
person.
That's
That
next
is
week.
next week.
Going to be
That is
going to be
next
great.
week.
It's a tune-up game in a way for Carleton Prep, but BA's offense has been just next to unstoppable this year.
Yeah.
Dorchester's had a great season, but the way BA has been running it with Nick Underwood, he is having one legendary season, or at least like in terms of just statistical season, one of the best that we've ever seen at the Skeeza level here, and it's just insane how he continues to churn up those kinds of numbers. But then you sometimes forget about other guys like Devin Fripp and Jace Balk and the receiving core. This offense is so fun to watch. I'm going to be at Hilton, or I'm going to be at Hampton County, but certainly I will be following this one. And thanks to Javon for
I was going to say Javon's
this contest over there. Over at Lady Zion should be a fun night. Great. Make sure to grab some grub before the game, Javon. They got some good food over there.
Oh yeah. I'll see Pat Maxwell on the grill. Maybe
Javon and I will have Buford covered.
Frying up some scramps. Fish and scramps.
Yes.
Good
scrimps.
Some good burgers.
Real good scrimps.
Yep.
Good food
BA has been flying this year. They'll continue to soar, I think, on Friday night against Dorchester Academy, and set their sights on the big one next week, or one of the big ones. But in terms of their season, the biggest one on the slate.
Bunch of big ones
which,
next week.
Could very well determine the region champion.
You on BA, Max? Did you pick them already?
Yeah, I am. I think BA's got too good of a team for Dorchester to handle. Like you said, Dorchester likes to bully people. You try to bully Beaufort Academy, they're going to bite you right back in the butt.
Yeah.
And I think Dorchester is going to try to bully them on Friday night, and it's not going to work out for them. I think BA wins this one big time.
All right, big time. Wes, you said it. Colleton Prep, kind of a tune-up game. They got Clarendon Hall coming to Walterboro. Surprisingly, Clarendon Hall leads this series 5-4, but CPA hasn't lost to them since '98. They played a bunch a long time ago, and then they didn't play again until last year because Clarendon, I think, was 8-man for a long time. But now they're up, and they Colleton won 26-0 last year. And Clarendon hasn't done much this year. They lost a close one to Patrick Henry earlier. I like Colleton to just keep doing what they're doing and dominate this one.
Should be
get the starters out early and save them for BA next week.
Yep, a quick little series or two, maybe more, to get your guys in shape, to keep them in shape. Put up a couple of scores early and bring in the backups and to just position yourselves to be ready for the one that matters next week, or the one that matters the most next week. All the credit in the world, this Colleton Prep team. Once again, I can't get my preps in my counties late night, but Colleton Prep, the Warhawks, credit to them for what they have done, because I will say, that first game against JP2, they really got their kinks out of the way, and after that, they have been full speed ahead. Really impressive win over Thomas Hayward a couple weeks ago. They kept it going at Calhoun. That was a win that certainly meant that they were ready to up against the best 1A teams, because that was doing something out there on the road against this solid opponent. This should be a cakewalk as they get ready for a big show with BA, which they get to host next week. So this one should Warhawks in command, and they will roll in this match with Clarendon Hall.
Yep, I like them too, bigly.
Yeah, I think the thing for me is you want to talk about someone in Skeeza other than Nick Underwood. Talk about Cale Owens. Incredible story so far this season for him. He's been an absolute dog for
Cale.
Absolute dog for Colleton Prep, and I think they continue rolling on Friday night against Clarendon Hall. Looking forward to that game next week out in Walterboro between the Warhawks and the Eagles.
Should be a good one. So everybody's on the Warhawks at home, and that brings us to the finale, the caboose.
I think you missed one there, JJ.
We did miss one. We did miss one. Hilton Head Prep on the road at Augusta Christian. It wasn't on my original schedule, and so I did miss that one. You're right. But the Dolphins have a real shot at a W here. Augusta Christian coming in at 0-5. And they've been outscored 89-20. So they've just not been very good. They lost 41-7 to Dillon Christian, a team that Hilton Head Prep beat last year. So it would seem like this is a winnable game on the road for the Dolphins. And so I'm taking my shot, baby. I'm going with my guy Doug McFadden and the Dolphins to get the dub on the road, get off the schneid, turn this thing around, get a few dubs this year.
That's exactly my thought as well. And they need it. They need a game where they can just let everything all hang out. They need to play a full game, try a bunch of different things, and just get out there and get off the schneid and look ahead, because they've got some tough competition coming up. And I really think that if they can, almost use this as like a springboard game, kind of a scrimmage type preseason scenario to work on things, get that first win, get some positive momentum, they could maybe win 2 or 3 more games this year. You just never know. I'm going to take Hilton Head Prep big.
Yes. So the battle of winless teams, Augusta Christian, 41-7, Dillon Christian. Certainly not the showing you wanted to see from them. Two teams really trying to find it. 2 forfeit losses on the year for Augusta Christian. This this really seems like the golden opportunity for this team to find that spark that they've been looking for since week 1. And I think Doug McFadden's team is going to respond. Clean slate, new opportunity out there on the road. They have some pieces that are trying to find their way, some transfers that are trying to work their way in. Wyatt Harmer could really use a good performance here. This is a team that's only scored 2 touchdowns in that St. Andrews game, that weird rain,
right.
Or that game that was called early because of the weather. And I just think that you find a way to reset. You played some really strong teams. Now you kind of see what you need to do to work on to get better. And I think they are going to bring an extra sense of energy and fight out there on the road at Augusta Christian. And as the great Lin-Manuel Miranda said, this is a time where you do not want to throw away your shot. And I think that's exactly what Hilton Head Prep their mindset has to be right now.
They're young, scrappy, and hungry.
Yeah, they are. I think it's crazy to think that Augusta Christian is a 4A football program within Skeeza. It's crazy to think that they are a 4A team, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they have to go up against teams like Heathwood Hall, Cardinal Newman, and other schools like that within Skeeza 4A. I feel bad for them, and I think it's going to get much worse for them, especially if they lost as badly as they did to Dillon Christian. I think Hilton Head Prep gets the job done over in Augusta, or as they say, Martinez, Georgia.
Yeah, Martinez. I think it's Martinez, Georgia. Is it
Martinez?
I think they do pronounce it like that.
Yeah, it's the Georgia way of doing it,
but
isn't
I think it is. Yeah. All right, we're all on the Dolphins.
Welcome,
and now,
Martinez, Georgia.
Now for the caboose, the Stingrays of Cross. And would you believe me if I told you this is a winnable game, boys? They got Palmetto Christian on the road. Palmetto Christian, new to 8-man. They dropped down. They couldn't field the team the last couple of years. They never played before. You want to play transitive property? All right. Holly Hill Academy beat Palmetto Christian 56-22. Beat Cross 52-18. That's the same in the transitive property. Jefferson Davis beat Palmetto Christian 50-20. Beat Cross 52-6. Slight edge to Palmetto Christian, but not by much. And then Cathedral Academy beat Palmetto Christian last week 46-6. Beat Cross 36-16 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Favor check mark Cross.
Yeah, you can see it. You can start to see it.
The argument can be made, and much like Lin-Manuel Miranda, I'm taking my shot, baby. Cross Stingrays getting a dub.
I'm going to as well
against Palmetto Christian.
I'm going to as well. I think back to talking to Rico at Media Day and talking to those guys. They have a good group of guys over there, and certainly a well knit bunch. They're a young bunch. They're looking to grab a couple more wins. They've got a shot this week. I'm going to take them right there with you, JJ. Let's go Stingrays. Get her done. As the great folks like to say, get her done. Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Get her done.
Indeed. Yes.
Get her done.
So this Cross game, you look last year, they got one win this season. It was against Conway Christian team that is not on their schedule this year. But this seems like a big time opportunity for a team that showed some good fight. They only lost by 20 against Cathedral. You look at what happened last year. They were obliterated by them, or at least they lost much more handily.
There's real progress there.
So a lot of progress there. You just look back at some other games that are really starting to find energy. I think he's doing a good job building up some good things in that program. You'd love to see that team get him this first win, and just looking through what Palmetto Christian Academy has done this year, that loss to Cathedral stands out, and I think that Cross is going to find something within them and deliver offensively, put some points on the board, and look to just put it all together to provide that all important, elusive first victory of the season. Now, they're never easy to come by, but I just think this Cross team is just ready to get back there. And I think this team has grown up by leaps and bounds already just this season, just over these first few weeks. I think that new coaching staff is doing wonders, and I think this is a week. So give me the Cross Stingrays over the Fighting Pete Crow Armstrongs, or no, Palmetto Christian Academy. The wrong PCA, Palmetto Christian Academy.
Pete Crow Armstrongs. I love it. That's great.
Very good.
Max, you going with the Rays?
Yeah, I'll go with the Rays. I think they need this one. I'll go with the Stingrays. I think it's time for them to strike. I think they're going to. I think Palmetto Christian has been a team that has been on a downslide, a downhill, for the last few years or so. I mean, there was a time when they were playing Hilton Head Christian in football. And I remember those days too, because I was part of a couple of the varsity teams that played Palmetto Christian back in the day, and they've been on downward spiral ever since. And I think it continues. I think the Stingrays get her done.
Get her done.
You're doing indeed.
Stingrays, get her done. Apparently, that's our new catchphrase for the Stingrays when they win. We'll see if they get her done tomorrow night.
When they do win, we'll be like, yes, they got her done.
Now, hopefully,
all right, boys.
That we'll have that a night from now, 24 hours from now, we'll be on the air celebrating the Cross Stingrays win, or maybe normally their updates come right at the end of the show. So that's.
Yeah, we often tracking their score until we don't find it till the last minute. So we'll have to see if we can get boots on the ground and get that score tomorrow night. All right. All-star sponsors we told you about our Lowco Booster Club, Hudson's Seafood House on the docks. Great place for seafood sunsets and cocktails on Hilton Head Island, and presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. New episodes every Tuesday this fall on Lowco Media Network. New sponsor, Twenge & Twombly, personal injury attorneys from Beaufort. Rare name, remarkable service. If you need a personal injury attorney, call on Twenge & Twombly. And if you need new windows and doors, our old friend Coach Barron gave up the basketball racket. He's focused on the new kind of screens, improving your view of the Lowco at HHI Windows and Doors. And then Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. And Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Shout out to Jay and his staff for surviving a scary day today. I'll open our parting thoughts there. Frightening situation in Ridgeland this morning. Around 10:23 a.m. A man in a mask with a machete busted into Jay's barbershop and demanded everybody's money, and took a swing with the machete at one of the barbers who was strapped, and put one in his chest. And that man's no longer with us. So play stupid games, win stupid prizes situation very much over there. Tragic situation, but look, folks, like, we can't be acting like that. We're a civilized nation, allegedly.
Hey, you said it right, dude. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, man.
You can't be taking a machete into the barbershop, bro.
Seriously, guys, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here.
Wow.
And people just need to grow.
By here, do you mean in the world?
I'm talking about here in the Low Country this week.
Yeah, everywhere, bro.
People need to grow up. I mean, I'm not joking. Seriously.
I'm not joking either. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I laugh to keep from crying situation, but it's like,
I get it.
Doing here?
But I mean, yeah, exactly. What are we doing? Grow up, folks. Come on. Be better than that.
Crazy stuff out there.
Yeah.
All right. Other parting thoughts. Marcus Walsh, you got anything to add?
I do, and it's much lighter and it's much better.
Good.
Do you guys realize that the Cleveland Guardians, oh, by the way, I'm talking about them again.
Yeah.
They are just 3.5 games out of the American League Central lead.
It was a 15-game deficit at one point.
Really?
They swept the Detroit Tigers with a 3-1 win today Jose Ramirez with another home run pitch, and he absolutely just jumped all over it. Tanner Bybee with 6 great innings. So they're 3.5 in back of Detroit. Oh, by the way, they play Detroit at Progressive Field
3.5
next
behind
week.
Detroit. They're a game and a half.
3-game series. And
The
they're a game and a
Wild
half behind Boston for the 3rd wild card spot as well. I'm feeling really good about the Cleveland Guardians these next 10 games.
So
They're going to shock the American League and get into the playoffs.
At Minnesota, then you got the Tigers again at home, and then the Rangers.
And then the Rangers
falling out of it.
And that's going to be really interesting. These final 3 series are going to be a lot of fun, and it's a double-header day on Saturday.
It's going to be a raucous crowd once you get back home. That Minnesota series could be kind of a trap. I mean, I think they're on the right. Like I would be surprised if they. I'd be surprised if they drop a couple just based on how they're playing. I think they're playing some lights out baseball, and the pitching staff has been so they are on a heater right now. So I, as a Red Sox fan, you are terrified. Meanwhile, as a Guardians fan, you are incredibly energized.
Just like McDonald's, I'm loving it.
No doubt about that.
It's going to be fun at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario next week.
A situation where a team could blow a 15-game lead in just a matter of weeks. That the lead that the Detroit Tigers once had, I believe. I'm not sure the exact number of how many games they were up, but
they've been so streaky the last couple of years.
They really have, especially this year. This regular season's been really long.
Well, both the Guardians and the Tigers have been really streaky.
Detroit, you look at them a year ago. I mean, they were America's team. Like everybody was like they came out of nowhere last year. If you remember, then high expectations were so high. Scuball,
now they're going the other way.
He was their like larger than life dominant figure on the mound. Obviously, have got some other guys at the plate who have been successful. But man, just to see the way the Tigers have kind of just reeled these last couple of weeks. It's going to be very interesting. I still think you never know. You never know. The Tigers have the Braves, the Guardians, and the Red Sox. So just imagine if it's possible where the Guardians stay on a heater, they overtake the Tigers, then the Red Sox and Tigers are fighting it out just to get in on that last series.
That's possible. Crazy. It is possible.
Very possible.
Gotta love it. 162 games, and it often comes down to the last one. Gotta love it. Max Raj, what you got?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm just excited that we're back to football tomorrow night. College football on Saturday, the NFL back on Sunday.
Got a good game going on right now.
Yeah,
very 21-21.
Dolphins hanging in with the Bills. That's a little surprising. 21 apiece. Wow, the Dolphins just scored again. We're in the fourth quarter.
So
big response by Miami in this game.
I'm very excited for all of it tomorrow night. Very excited for my first game over at Buford High School. I'm very excited for that. Should be a good time.
It's a great
over there, and just happy to be doing this stuff with you guys every week. It's always fun.
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah.
What you got, Wes?
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's really fun. I'm on that note. Like I'm really excited to head over to Hampton for the first time. One of the most exciting and fun destinations of the not just football, basketball. I remember going to some basketball games there. They were a ton of fun too. So certainly always a memorable experience anytime you get to go to Varnville. But this is a big matchup, and I think it's up for grabs. So I'm excited, especially as someone with alma mater in the game, as Hilton High will be there. Some big time news out of LA today. Clayton Kershaw announced that this will be it. He will be announcing his retirement at the end of the year. One of the better pitchers of the generation. You look at his numbers: a career ERA of 2.54, over 200 wins, and he's in the top 20 in career strikeouts, over 3,000 Ks, a milestone that he just notched this year. So some fans love him, some fans hate him. just because of people don't like the Dodgers at some points.
That's the only reason you could hate him, though, right? Like, is just the laundry. Like, there's nothing to not like about him otherwise. Great dude.
No, I mean, terrific competitor, great guy, but it's one of those situations where you
first ballot.
You hate him because he's good. You hate him because he's good. You hate him because he beat you, and then that's all there is to it. But you can't deny. Of course, he got that World Series ring. Yeah, well, he got two of them now in 2020 and the 24 this past year. The Dodgers won again.
Right.
So I mean, he's on his way to Cooperstown with a career.
Yeah. And probably 100%. Kind of becomes like the standard for the modern starting pitcher to go to Cooperstown, right? Because you used to have to get to 300 wins almost invariably to get there, and nobody's going to do that anymore.
Nobody's doing that.
So now there's going to have to be some new kind of benchmarks, and he'll kind of help start to set those. So and we'll see that continue to develop over the years because we can't stop putting starting pitchers in the Hall of Fame.
Right. And nobody's got a curveball like that dude, man. That dude had one of the best and most beautiful looking curveballs ever.
And wasn't he on the same baseball team as Matthew Stafford? Isn't that right?
He was. That's correct.
That's crazy.
They went to the same high school, high
school baseball and football team as Matthew Stafford. That's crazy.
What about that combination?
Here you go. JP2 middle school football, 24-0 over Hilton Head Christian.
Hey now.
JP2 coming.
Thank you, Anthony.
They're coming up. Other parting thoughts? I don't have any because I already gave you mine. I'm not the machete-wielding person. But no, it's always a pleasure. Actually, I will end on this parting thought. I'll shout out a couple of speakers we had at Hardyville High School this week. I thank them for coming in. Our friend Sam Williams, Sammy Dubs, the attorney, our great friend who comes talks football with us sometimes. He came over yesterday for Constitution Day.
I haven't seen Sammy Dubs in a minute now.
Yeah, we got to pull him back out here. And but he went to he came and spoke to us about Constitution Day, and we pulled out some U.S. history classes and a few other students who were interested in law careers and stuff like that. And then today we had Corey Bibbins, the director of Parks and Rec for Jasper County, who coincidentally a Syracuse alum and grew up in Syracuse, knows all about Tony Red Bruin, friend of Lowco. So, but no, it was great.
Oh yeah.
And, I'd love to hear from others who would like to come speak to our students. I'm the career development facilitator. So if you want to come talk about your careers, we'd love to hear from you, and we'll get you signed up for our career fair as well. And that's one of the things I love about our community.
I can mention firsthand that it's a great thing that you've got going on there, JJ, at Hardyville. Jessa Jeremiah and I were out there a few weeks ago. We had a blast, talking to you. That's how we got our sponsorship partnership going on for this football season, and to talk to those kids on that Friday a few weeks ago was really an awesome experience. So just keep on keeping on. You're doing great stuff over there.
We had Gina Montford last week as well, the interim AD at UCB.
She's terrific too.
Yeah, we're bringing some good people in, but we need more. So hit us up. But all right, boys. Well, rest well. Charge your phones tomorrow, and we'll get out there and cover some more high school football. We'll be back here. I will run point tomorrow night. I'm going to stay close to home and get back here by 9:30 or 10 and run point on the live show. You boys go do your thing. We'll be watching you guys on WHHI's live stream on YouTube. Buford's Own will have the BA game on YouTube, and then we'll get together here and let you know how it all goes down. So thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch tonight. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors, especially the All-Stars, Mickelson Law Firm, our OGs, and WHHI TV, our great partners in local sports. For Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. We'll see you tomorrow night for Lowco Pigskin Live. Until then, go Lowco.